All right, so today is September 29th, 2020. I'm going to try and keep this pretty short and sweet. I had my physical agilities test with the sheriff's office. It was a two-part test. The first part consisted of an obstacle course, which you had 90 minutes or 90 seconds to navigate. You had to do seated in a police car, unbuckle your seatbelt, and run, sprint, and I think it was like, I don't know, 100 yards, and then do a dummy drag for like 20 yards, and then sprint and go up some stairs, down some stairs, and then over a simulated 4-foot ditch, and then around some curves, and back to the finish line. This was about 200, another 200 yards. So, I'm at the time, which was I took this. So today's the 29th. I took it on the 26th. I was 284.4 pounds on the 26th. Um, and out of the 90 seconds, it took 72 seconds. So I was feeling I was feeling pretty confident about that. It was good. Um, and you know, it was okay. I was expecting. I mean, I it wasn't the slowest time, I don't think. And I was actually surprised. I was say this. My spirits were lifted. When the guy gave me the time, because I knew I'd done it with like 18 seconds to spare, and I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I don't completely suck, right? Um, then we had a 15-minute intercession or like break, and then we went to the the vehicle track where they like teach you how to drive tactical driving. Um, and they said 2 times around this track is going to be a mile. You need to do the mile in 12 minutes, and on a treadmill, I'm doing because I have a treadmill, guys, in my garage, like a commercial grade treadmill. I don't really use it that much, but yeah, on the treadmill, I'm like clocking 11 minutes and like 30 seconds. Um, you know, the minimum required is 12 minutes, so that's the minimum, which is a 5 mile per hour pace or better, right? So I'm doing 11:30. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna squeak by, right? Well, guys, let me tell you, running on the street and um, running on the road, running on the street and running on a treadmill are completely different. Okay, I know, because it kind of makes sense. The belt is it's assisting you while you're jogging, and it's lower impact and all this other stuff that are really really important. Like, these are game changing things for heavy people, right? Lower impact means like you're almost like you're running at a lighter weight, right? Um, uh, None of this stuff. I mean, they're good training tools, but nothing prepares you for running on concrete like running on concrete, which I didn't get enough time to do. Um, so when I initially started my application, I tried to push back because I knew I was like 319 pounds. I knew that I wasn't ready and that I needed time. And so, but the recruiter that I was speaking to was like, you want to push it back? How far? Because he couldn't see me. Um, anyway, so I did the best I could training wise up until the week of the test. The so the test was the 26th. On the 21st, well, it was like really Sunday the 20th, like at night. I was training at the gym, and I was doing an elliptical, and I did it for like half an hour, which was like, for me that was a big milestone. I didn't, I was huffing and puffing, but I just powered through it, and I felt that endorphin kick in. It was the first time I felt those endorphins kick in, that runner's endorphin kick, and it's the first time I felt it in years, and I loved it. So I thought, hey man, I'm just gonna turn the resistance up to like 8 or 9, and finish strong for like the last 3 minutes. And I did. I did. I was pretty happy with my performance. I went home and rested for like a little bit, showered and all that good stuff. And I picked up my son. I don't think I was hydrated fully. Picked up my son, and for those of you, my son's kind of, he's a big boy. He's not fat. He's just thick. He's heavy. He's like, but he's only a baby. He's like 18 months. But he's, whew. Anyway, something happened, and a couple hours later, I was in agony, like agony. Something like on both sides of my lower, on both sides of my lower back, horrible pain, horrible. I wanted to go see the chiropractor. I said, "Hey man, I jammed myself up, man. What's going on?" He twisted me up a little bit, loosened up my hips, and cracked my back and my neck, and sent me on my way. But my lower back was still, like I said, in agony. It was so bad Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before the test that I had to take, let's see here, 600 milligrams of ibuprofen 3 to 4 times a day, just to get through it. Like, I would need it to go to sleep at night because the pain was just so. I like to sleep on my stomach. I couldn't sleep on my stomach. It was just, and I felt it radiate all the way from my lower back down to like almost like my hamstrings, I guess, like the back of my leg on both sides. Anyway, I never felt anything like that, never in my life, and I thought I'd really, really jam myself up. What happened? The ibuprofen and the Epsom salt, and I put some ice on it a couple times. Slowly but surely, it started to get better, and so that was a good sign. It's still a little bit tight, but you know. On the day of the agilities course, it was pretty tight as well. I'd like to point to that and say that's why I failed. But yeah, I'd like to point to that. But the real reason I failed is because I just wasn't ready. I mean, here I am. I'm trying to make the minimum standard, right? And the law enforcement has physical standards for a reason. Those physical standards exist because there may be a point in time when you're called upon, and you need to perform, and physically, and someone's safety could be at risk. Your safety could be at risk. Your partner's safety could be at risk. A citizen's safety could be at risk. And your failure to prepare could endanger the lives of others. And I get it. I get it. You know, I mean, we're just thinking about a job, but law enforcement, being a sheriff's deputy it's honestly, it's more than a job. Um, it's a responsibility. You know, and one of the responsibilities of many that you have, besides like being having integrity and performing your duties. Part of that is preparation, physical preparation. So anyway, yeah. So I went around the course one time, and which was half a mile, and the guy gave me one of the recruiters there gave me the lap time, so it was like 6 minutes and 20 seconds, right? And I'd stopped already to walk. Not stopped, but like stopped and walked, instead of jogging. Already I'd done that a few times, and I gassed out, man. I probably, looking back, I probably should have, regardless of how long it took me, I probably should have just finished that damn course, just to finish it, even if I'm in last place, which I was. Um, but I knew I needed to be somewhere else. I needed training, and I needed to come back. And so Um, you know, it was one of those things where, I didn't think it was going to happen like that. I really didn't. I don't know what part of me thought that I was ready, but I guess passing that agilities course ahead of time, with 18 seconds to spare on the standard, gave me that false sense of security. Like, hey, man, psh, you got this, dude. Well, you need a lot more than platitudes to get it. Especially at 284, being out of shape and unconditioned. And so, yeah, the platitudes, the you got this didn't get me across the finish line. You know, I was sucking wind so hard. I actually, there were about 30 candidates there, and they started us all for that mile run all at the same time. And the idea was, hey, you're running for your job, you know, which may or may not have been true, but I picked, and I hate to say this about myself, but instead of running my own race, at the beginning I was looking around. You see a couple guys that look like track stars. And you're like, oh man, okay, I'm not gonna catch up with that guy. That guy's, you know, 5 minute mile. No worries. That guy, he's gone. No sense comparing myself to that. So my eyes settled upon the fattest, like out of shape dude. He looked worse. I mean, I'm husky. I'm big. I was one of the biggest guy. This guy looked bigger than me, right? And he wasn't like a shape. He was, shapes, right? And I said, I'm gonna beat that guy. I'm gonna beat that guy. I'm gonna I'm gonna at least beat that guy. At least I won't be last. Well, when they said go and they blew that whistle and everyone started to run, that guy pulled away. That guy, I mean, I lost track of him. I'm like, no effing way am I gonna get that guy. And I thought, dude, the guy looked, I mean, he looked terrible, like, but that guy was gone. And your boy uh, was the last one of the pack. And the separation after, I realized it at about like 10 seconds in. The separation just started to grow, and grow and grow. And I was behind these two girls I mean, the girls are kicking my butt, dude. Now, I don't mean anything bad by that. I mean, if you're female, all I'm saying, I'm not misogynistic. I'm just saying that, like, a man's performance athletically, um, well, how do I say this without sounding like an asshole? Um, okay, if you were like to take Olympic, sprinters or Olympic athletes or whatever, the fastest men's time is always going to be faster than the fastest woman's time. Um, it's the gender difference in physical performance. There is one. Okay, I'm not an asshole for saying it. It's the truth. Anyway, the girls were kicking my ass. Everyone kicked my ass. I was the last person. So I went around once. The guy gave me my time, and I said, you know what? F it. Even if I squeaked by at 11 minutes and 59 seconds, I don't deserve to be here right now. And yeah, the sergeant was in there earlier, and he was like, yeah, realistically, you should be around a 10-minute mile. And so, yeah, it was not pretty. And so coming to them with my hat in my hands and saying, hey, sirs, ma'ams, I don't deserve to be here yet. Can I have some time to prepare myself and come back? It was a very sobering moment, like a slap in the face. But I've been reading a lot of books by you know different inspirational figures. Most recently, this guy David Goggins, who was 300 pounds and just decided to become a Navy SEAL and lost 100 pounds in 3 months. And now he's like an ultra marathoner. Dude, he's one of the baddest mofos on the planet. And he does so by being honest and not making excuses and pursuing his goals like he's got an obsession. And that's what I need to do here. So I'm going to hang up this YouTube and email the recruiter and ask for 5 weeks to train. and do it all over again. And that's it. All right. Y'all take care.